I can't think.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the MANxiety Show. Corey Brooks.
Mick Thomas, how are you?
And this week, we're going to discuss we were going to do the 12 steps, but I think we're going to hold off till next week for that.
Yeah, we might as well, since this is kind of all, I don't know how long more this case is going to go on, and I hate gossip columns and celebrity
As do
stuff,
I.
because I genuinely don't care about, celebrities are people,
Yeah.
but
It's
I
amazing.
don't care about to the point where I have this opinion like that the
Right.
watering hole, you know?
It's amazing how many, how people love that stuff, right? And like you hear a celebrity die and everybody's like, oh my God, here's so-and-so passed. But then like a cousin of a cousin can pass away in the family. Like, oh, it's so sad.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And
I guess it's that connection that you feel like you had with them.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, why people do that with celebrities. And they'll read magazines like People Magazine and Us and all that stuff, and they know it's all bullshit, but yet they'll still go ahead and just read it. Like, it's not true.
Yeah.
You know it's not true, but you're still reading it. And I don't get the obsession with celebrities. I never did, and I've...
I guess being a celebrity, it's hard to have an obsession for yourself. Right? Just kidding.
Well, I think because I've been around them so much.
Yep.
And it's not that I wasn't thinking like, oh, this is cool if I'm ever around a famous person, especially a famous person that I actually happen to look up to
Yeah.
and admire their work. But you want them to treat you like you're one of their peers, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like I don't see Tom Hanks, bumping into Mel Gibson on the street. Can I get a picture, Mel?
Yeah, no.
You know
no.
what I mean? He's like,
Yeah.
what, Tom? What the fuck? Just go over there and eat yourself.
It's like seeing that clip with Leonardo DiCaprio and when he ran on the street up to Jonah Hill. Like
Yeah.
he was a paparazzi, whatever, or a fan.
Right, right.
Like, and then he realized it was him.
Yeah, and I've never had that attachment, but I think what's going on with Johnny Depp, by the way, and Amber,
Yep.
is what we're talking about. Wouldn't it be funny if this whole time we're just up with someone totally different?
Yeah, totally different. We spent an hour-long rant and like, wait, what was the topic?
And I just think I really think it's almost like female narcissist, because we covered a lot of this last week
Yeah, we did.
about the female narcissist and about accusations and the power of them.
Yep.
But I just feel that because this is so popular, and the reason why I think this is so popular, at least from the MANxiety Show perspective of it, same with the Will Smith case now. I think even the Will Smith case, the bad guy is no longer Will, I think. I still think Will's a piece of shit for hitting him, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I think now the needle is starting to point towards Jada.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. a little
And
bit.
I think, so these two cases now are they're very important in relation to, not that the tide is changing or times are changing, but I think it's fine. It's about time that it's been highlighted that abuse towards men, physically and mentally, does exist, and
Yep.
to the point where it's, I don't want to say let's normalize abuse to men.
No.
But even the
Or
fact,
vice versa.
like there was an incident in the Johnny and Amber case where the abuse was so bad that, now again, this is all based on what you're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Johnny Depp is telling the truth in a lot of it.
Yep.
I don't know if Amber's
And
telling
that's
the truth in
what's
all
hard
of it.
because they're both actors, right?
Right,
So
and-
it's like, who better to be like when you're in a court? It's so easy to act. Like
Yeah.
it's so easy to lie like that.
Like
That's
that's
what
my
you do.
script.
That's my script.
is I'm
I
playing
am
the guy who's hurt, and
who's
her
hurt
script is like
in the courthouse, and yeah.
and I'm playing the part of someone who's falsely
Yeah.
accused. But I think I'm not here to say, because that's the thing. We've already picked their side.
Yeah.
I don't know one person. I haven't heard of one person that's. Someone had a joke. A comedian friend of mine, Dan Barry, had a joke. He put it online. He hasn't done it on stage because apparently one of the accusations that she took a dump
On the bed,
his
right?
side of the bed.
Yep.
And I think Dan's joke was I'm going to butcher it probably, but it was like, he must have done something. Like, that
that
made
she
her
shit
shit on his
like,
inside of the
Something
bed.
bad for her to shit, and she's like a decent looking woman too. She's she's pretty hot. And
So, yeah.
like, that's like an ultimate fuck you move. Is a shit
Right.
like that.
But I think, so we've all vilified her.
Yep.
And we're all Team Johnny, but sometimes, man, it doesn't.
And this isn't
not
even
as
like a
straightforward.
man woman thing. It's
not.
because
It's not an
I mean,
it is.
Yeah, it's not and it is, right? Because she comes out and says he was abusive, blah, blah, blah. And that's why she didn't even go to the court, right? Or anything like that. She went to media.
She wrote an
right?
article.
An article.
And she didn't mention him by name, but if I said something,
Yeah, if I
some woman I'm married to
came out, if your wife came out and said it, who else would it? Yeah,
His
exactly.
cousin, his sister.
Yep.
And then what happened is the world kind of turned on Johnny Depp. He's a wife beater. Disney got rid of him from Pirates of the Caribbean because there was another one scheduled, I think. A lot of companies, he had a lot of projects lined up and they all kind of just got dumped him. And this is the point of why this is so important. And I think Johnny Depp is going after, he's getting money back from, but it's not about the money for him.
Yep.
It's about
principle.
But it's also about the public image.
Right.
It's also what happens with his kids. Like, what image does he have?
And he's
through the eyes of
guilty
his
and to prove it
children?
innocent. It's not the other way around.
Right.
You know?
And he wants to do it for the public image, which is big to him. Not as in like, I care what people think about me, but you kind of do.
Yeah.
And like, you don't want garbage thrown on you every
Especially
time you walk
all
down the
these
street.
years, you know?
Mhm.
All these years, he's been Johnny Depp for years and
Yeah.
years. People love him, still love him, obviously.
Of course.
Great actor. And to put in all that hard work all these years and then just have somebody
Just take it away
take
from
it away
you.
from you with a article she just felt like writing.
And
whether
not
it was
only
true or
take it
not.
away from me, but also stop you from getting work
Right.
down the line. You know, and this is what we talked about last week, and we touched on false accusations and the power they have. That immediately we all turned on Johnny Depp
Mhm.
when that came out. I didn't, because I just
Yep.
I really don't get involved in it and with celebrity gossip and that kind of stuff. But there's always two sides to every story, and you can kind of tell stuff. Like, I remember watching it a little bit, because to me, I look at it, it's not like, oh, isn't this interesting?
Yeah.
But I do have my eye on it based on the topic that I'm very pro man's rights. And as we started this podcast was for, we understand that men were misrepresented. And
Yeah.
but I'm watching this and I see one part of it where he's on a picture of him on a stretcher, and he just remembered that she put a cigarette on his face.
Wow. And
Right.
they played a video.
Yeah.
Too,
They played a
of
bunch
her
of
talking
audio.
about hitting
Yeah.
him and all that stuff.
I didn't hit you with my fist. I hit you with my, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't be a wuss.
Yeah.
That's paraphrasing, of course. I don't know what. But the fact that he didn't remember until he saw the picture,
Mhm.
like, oh, yeah, she put a cigarette on me. Like, that means the abuse was so regular,
Yeah.
so consistent, a constant thing that, like if I come up to you and put a cigarette in your face, you go, holy shit, he put a fucking cigarette.
Mhm.
But if you're getting abused every single day and you actually forget that happened,
Mhm.
it kind of says a lot, right? It says a lot that there's it says a lot about the situation that they're in
Right.
for him to do that, for him to put up with it, and for him to forget that the abuse was.
Yeah, and I think they tried tying in that Marilyn Manson's his friend too, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen some clips. And that's the thing with media, you're going to see the clips they want you to see. People are going to chop up the
He
clips
was
and put this out.
friends, I think, with Marilyn Manson. But having said that, like, when you're friends with someone like Marilyn Manson, there's a great documentary of him on HBO.
Kind of guilty by association.
It's a great documentary, but it's also disturbing, right? And
Yeah.
again, it's another case of right now that's all going to court, so we can't turn around and go. We immediately, because we watched. She was the first one to bring out a documentary. Now, again,
Yeah.
I'm not defending Marilyn Manson. Please don't edit this clip out and say
Yes.
he's pro Marilyn Manson. I truly believe, based on the documentary I saw and all the other women that came forward, I'm 100% kind of feeling that Marilyn Manson was guilty, but I'm not excusing him. But also, that he hasn't had his day in court. He hasn't had his opinion. He just basically kind of said, "I'm not, no comment."
No.
Which
I mean,
is
his
probably
image alone to me is like, all right, you're stacked against you, you know.
Yeah, right.
But with Johnny Depp, it's just just seeing these clips and you're informing me a lot more than what I know about the case. I
Okay.
mean, because what I'm seeing is, you know, live TikToks, live Instagram, stuff like that, clips that I'm watching. And what I'm seeing is the videos of her talking about hitting him. What I'm seeing is which I do love. It's kind of comical what he's doing with her legal team there. It's kind of driving them nuts a little bit. See some of the clips, but
I think the legal team is clutching at straws.
Yeah.
And he's laughing. I think now, as the case goes on, he realizes, he's like, I have you.
and you see clips of her like talking to her legal team, laughing, smiling, and she goes right back to her sad face. It's like, what do you I don't know. It's just it's
Yeah,
sort of-
but I think that's also, when you see someone laugh, I think that's just to show the world that you're not getting to me. I'm innocent.
Yeah, right.
Like, this is so laughable. And there's so many tricks that deceitful people do. And I'm not saying, I mean, he could be doing it, right?
Yeah, he could be doing it.
I watched him do something when he talked about on his wedding day.
And I'm sidetracking us here.
That's
from
fine.
the
That's
main
what we do
point
here.
of
That's
the,
what we do. That's what we
I
do. We'll get back to it.
Folks.
He talked about his wedding day, and he said they said, "What drugs did you do on your wedding day?" And he
Mhm.
took a long pause, which is fine. It's recommended you take a long pause anyway before Elon Musk does that. If you
Gather
ask him
your
a
thoughts.
question,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, what's your favorite pizza topping? He'll pause and then
Especially in front of the camera, you gotta gather your thoughts.
because you gotta it goes down. So it goes right down and it's on paper. It's documented.
Yep.
So he, what did you do on your wedding day in relation to? He goes, I think I smoked marijuana, and then he did a long pause, but then he said, honestly. Now, honestly, when usually someone, now that could be in your regular everyday vocabulary, right?
Yep.
Like, what did you have for dinner? Honestly, man, I had pizza and fries. Honestly, I had chicken and steak. But if you don't usually say that, it means what you're about to say is very important and you want me to believe it. So either
Right.
that's true or like you're going very hard to convince me that it's true. I'm
Right.
not saying it's not. So he's like, honestly, I think I only had, I don't remember. You know what I mean? So he was kind of, they're from what I'm seeing is like he could be dishonest on certain parts of the story too.
Mhm.
The thing that kind of got to me was like everyone's like, I don't understand why didn't he leave her, because obviously they've had these fights before.
Yeah.
You got to go back and look at his childhood, right?
Mhm.
This is a guy who he had siblings. He had a very abusive mother, right? Which says it all.
Oh, did he?
Very abusive mother.
Just watch the cable and
Yeah, I can hear it go.
Yeah.
I just don't. Sorry,
Yep.
everybody. Why is this? Can I not tuck it in or something?
Okay.
Don't get up now, but if I
Mhm.
do that, will that work? Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. So he had a very abusive mother, very abusive. Like he's blind in one eye, legally blind in one
Really?
eye. Yeah, and so his mother would make fun of him being
Guess
blind
Captain
in one
Jack
eye.
Sparrow was the way to
Yeah,
go.
absolutely. His mother would make fun of him, make fun of their siblings for whatever disability they had. Now, disability could be a lazy eye,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I could suck at playing the cello, whatever it is, right?
Yep.
So he had a very, very abusive mother to the point where the father just like, I'm out of here. I can't.
So
I
you
can't
think
leave
does
dad
that
left.
play a part? Is he
Yeah, of
abusive at all?
course.
Because
Of course.
what do they say?
It's our daddy issues.
Yeah.
You know what they say? Girls have daddy issues.
Yep.
Well, men have sometimes a mommy complex. What's it
They say
called?
damage. Yeah, mommy issues.
Freud believed we all wanted to bang our mothers. According to Freud, yeah,
Siegfried Freud.
he said that we all secretly want to bang our mothers because that's one stage coming up in our life.
Oh, because you want to marry somebody that's like how your
Someone
mother.
that's like that reminds you of your mother.
Yeah, well, if your mother took care of you all your life, you want to marry someone that takes care of you.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I don't know. I get the
But-
concept, but I just like.
Saying it that way, it's like
But so he had a very abusive mother. So from a young age, he turned to drugs. So he became very and he's an introvert too, which is strange.
it is strange, but I guess you get
Considering
that.
his characters are so outgoing. You know what I mean? Look at the characters that he plays. So you come from that type of environment, from an abusive home, you're going to repeat the cycles.
Right.
Most people from abusive homes repeat the cycles.
Right.
The cycle. Until you really are aware of what's going on, then you go like, I'm done with this shit.
Mhm.
Because they had an abusive relationship from early on. There's records going back for years and years before this even came out. They've been married 13 years, I think. I don't
Really?
know. I'm not a
Yeah.
gossip columnist, so I could be wrong. I don't want you yelling at your screen or your car
Mhm.
saying it's only married 7 years. I know he. So there was cases where he called. There was charges brought up against him for assaulting her, and then the Sun Mirror in England
Okay.
said all this. He was a wife beater, whatever. And then this is going back years ago, before this case started, before all this happened. So he went to sue the Sun newspaper, but they were able to. He actually lost that case based on the information that they had,
Oh.
which doesn't look good in his case,
Right.
kind of now, right?
Right.
So a lot of things that are going bad for him is that case that he lost again. So there is a history of abuse
Mhm.
on his part of it. And then the other thing too is that like a lot of things he was drunk he was like kind of drunk or high all the time. I won't say all the time, that's terrible. A lot of the times too. So she can't so now he can't you can't remember that. You can't
Right.
recall that. Or if
Right.
he says, here's what happened, well, you were intoxicated. So how do you not know that this was said or that was
Right.
said? I think the saving grace for him is the audios and the
Yeah.
recordings and it's just like the fucking abuse, man, that he's
Yep.
putting up with.
Yeah, and it's mainly her abusing him, and he was very calm to handle those. And he must have recorded it saying, she's doing this. I got to record this because there's going to be a day where she's you know, if it ever comes out where she says I'm abusive, at least I have this to back me up, especially nowadays. You know, it's almost like, what do you got to do every time you get into an argument with your wife, your girlfriend, you got to record it just so to bring it to court in case they say you've done this or did that. You know what I mean? I mean, what the heck? It's like,
but I mean, again, the case of this whole thing is that he is the reason why he's going forward with the court case. Again, I don't think he wants to get money. As I think he's with his talent, he's set up for life.
Yeah, I think it's just a principle thing, and kind of helps men out, I guess, in a way too. When there's cases that lean towards a man's side, 'cause that's very rare.
But let's say he's a guy that works in a machine shop.
Yep.
You know, a normal machine shop. He's a FedEx driver.
He'd probably be guilty of sin.
He works in a regular office, right? And then someone brings up an accusation against him, and you're fucking fired, gone.
Yeah.
Everything, you've lost everything. And you're not in a position where you're Johnny Depp where you can bounce back based on whatever. You know what I mean? And that's the importance of this case. This is why this is so important, because as men, and you're branded with that. You're fucking branded with it. And if I turn and just, if you get accused of it, it's always the first person to the bullhorn first. Whoever runs first and tells the story first. It's like, I've been in 14 car accidents since I moved to this country. 14. It's an embarrassing number of fender benders and shit. Like, just bumping. Now you got to wait for the insurance company. You got to wait for the cop.
Which side of the road do you guys drive on?
It's the opposite of you guys.
Exactly.
It's got nothing to do with that. It's just dumb, not paying attention. It's just dumb shit. And I'm saying this as a joke, by the way, for any future accidents. Just this is all satire. I don't want this being played back in court. Well, you admitted you're a dumb driver.
You need the insurance money back.
Yeah. It's I even forgot the fucking point.
Those are insurance endorsements. So
shit. What was my point about car accidents? Oh no, car. So right, with a car accident now you got to call a cop.
Yep.
Right, the cop's got to come over. Now what's going to happen is, I've seen it where by accident number 4, I didn't give a shit anymore. But for the first few accidents, everyone after 4, I watched them. As soon as the cop pulls up, they run to the cop to get their story first. Like, that's the one that's going to matter, because I got to the cop first. I just sit back and go,
I've been into a couple, I am sidetracked right here, because now we're talking about
accidents. That's what we're doing.
I've been into 3 accidents, maybe now 4.
Fender benders are like bad ones.
2 bad ones. There was one bad one a couple of years back. The guy was making a left onto one of the main roads, and you can't make a left at the light. You only go straight. You're crossing one of the main roads here. And I was turning right, going straight as I'm allowed to, and this guy decided to make a left. You can't make a left. So as I'm going straight, I'm probably going about a good 55, 60 miles per hour. He makes the left. I hit him in a pickup truck. It's this guy, his wife, and 2 kids. And I'm like, you guys are right. The kids are right. They're all fine. They're all fine. I turn around, look at my car. I grab my phone. I turn back around. They're all on the floor, like, trying to scan the system.
Yeah.
But then I was in one fender bender.
Did you win that case? You don't have to go into detail about that.
Yeah, I won. There was a mom and 2 kids was around Christmas pulling into a Target, making a left into a Target. She hit behind me, and I'm like, I get out. I'm like, she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It was my fault. Look, I'm like, we're fine. You know what I mean? I had like a scuff on it. I'm like, it's Christmas Eve. It was Christmas Eve. I'm like, I'm not dealing with the cops. So I just left. I'm like, don't worry, you're good. And then it happened to me again. A girl hit me, and I think she was high. She really fucked up the front of her car. It was like, it was fucked up already, and then she fucked it up again. And I'm like, here's a body shop. I know. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. Like, I just didn't want to deal. I don't like dealing with that. I don't like dealing with the police reports unless my car's really messed up. I hate dealing with
I've dealt with them, like I said, 14 times. And, but when you pull up, when the cop pulls up, now I just sit there. I go, you know what? You go first.
Right.
Because the cop will come back and go, all right, he or she said you, blah, blah, blah. And you did like, all right. Because what's going to happen is you're going to tell your story anyway. The cop's not going to go, oh, the cop is going to just write down word for word what you said.
Yep.
Then he's going to write down word for word what I said. He's going to look at the damage. And if you say, like, there's laws there for a reason, right? Like, there's laws for a reason. Like, if I say I'm on Sunrise Highway, it's a street on a road on Long Island.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I'm driving behind you, and then I crash into you, and I go, he was reversing that Sunrise Highway. That didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That didn't happen.
Yep.
So, so there's laws in place of rules of the road, and if you break the rules of the road in conjunction with your story versus my story, the truth always comes out in those arguments.
Yep.
The only way it doesn't come out is, I've been a victim of one of these, is when if you and I are driving side by side and I'm texting and I drift over and I smash into your side, and all I got to say, well, look at my damage. He hit me. And you're like, no, you asshole. You hit me. The cop's going to go, look, you go to your insurance, you can call it 50-50 and that's it. Nobody will win that. Nobody will ever win that in the history of, and even like your witness.
And especially here, I think it's no fault all the time, almost.
Could be. I know.
Whatever it is.
I know. But anyway, my point is that, so like with this case, you know, she was she wanted to be the first to run to the fucking bullhorn and tell everybody that he's the abusive one. Whereas,
because she probably figured he had the evidence too to show, you know, that he isn't.
Yeah.
And that's why she's like, let me get to it first, because let's start outrage.
Yeah.
Where people are going to take my side no matter what he has.
Right.
And that's backfiring right now.
Yeah. And it's like, if you had a popular TV show, right? And all of a sudden, if she went on that show first, like she said on Joe Rogan's podcast before any of us knew this. And she goes, you know what he did? And told us the story, he'd be gone, and a lot of people wouldn't want to hear his side of the story, because it's always like the first to the starting line is the one that kind of we all want to believe because they came forward first with it. And it really kind of comes back down to the power of just what.
And do you think it helps Johnny Depp, the fact that a lot of women love Johnny Depp, and be like, don't you dare say he did that.
Nah, I don't think that's anything to do with that at all. I think...
I mean, on social media. But I mean, the facts are there. Obviously, you're watching the videos and all that stuff. The case isn't closed, but what you see, yeah. But I'm just saying.
I think either way, because of even if she wins, like
that was another actor that wasn't...
Here's a horrible thing to say, right? Here's a horrible thing to say. This is not my belief in any way, right? So that's a disclaimer before I say this. Casey Anthony... the woman who was accused of murdering her child is 100% innocent through the eyes of the law. Right? But her life is over.
Oh, yeah.
Now, she's 100% innocent in the eyes of the court. Right? Now, the public opinion, she's fucking guilty of sin.
It's like OJ, right?
But, right? It's Michael Jackson. Right? It's all these people that just but we don't know. It's just someone like Michael Jackson. They did another documentary on him. We're basing Is It True based on a documentary. I've watched 100 documentaries that are all bullshit. Like you watch a Michael Moore documentary. It's bullshit. It's edited to fucking to suit your narrative. So my point is Casey Anthony is 100% innocent. 100%. She should be like walking to a grocery store. With her Casey Anthony hair, the typical fucking black bob that she had, and nobody should say anything to her.
But we live in a world where everybody's judge and jury, you know.
But again, I'm not saying she's innocent.
She's innocent legally through the court system, but who knows? We don't know.
Maybe I'm saying that she got away with it. I'm not saying she did or she didn't get away with it.
That's something we just don't know.
But from the court, from the eyes of the court and the eyes of the justice system and the legal system, she's 100% innocent. She should walk in the store and not have her life be over. But it fucking is. Right? Amber's life, even if Amber, she could be telling the truth. We don't know, right? We genuinely don't know. We've just decided to go, yeah, I don't like her. We love John. That's Jack Sparrow. How dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he plays the guitar. You cut off his finger. You know, and we've
Dean Gilbert Grape, come on.
Yeah, like he's gone, like she's gone now to the point where they're even going to delay Aquaman 2. They're like, I don't even think we should bring out Aquaman 2 now because she's in it.
Yeah, is she?
Yeah, she's.
I don't know what movie she's in.
Aquaman's girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Mira, she plays Mira.
But now, if she's found guilty, you think she'll lose?
Doesn't matter.
Endorsements?
Guilty or innocent?
She'll still get her movies though. Versus Johnny Depp, right?
No, they're done with her. They're done. Like Johnny Depp will get hired tomorrow morning.
Right.
After this, the way it's gone in the courtroom, Johnny Depp's going to get hired. But she is going to lose it all. I think nobody's going to hire her based on... Which, going back to...
Who's going to want to date her now after this?
Going back... Listen, have you seen those prison documentaries?
Yeah, that's true.
Someone's going to want to date her because someone like that girl is a Viking in the sack.
Yep, and this is not putting...
Is fucking wearing a fucking helmet and a sword.
I like to be hit.
Yeah, she's going to wear a helmet and a sword.
Is this for money, or is he suing her? You know, well, she won't get jail time for this. This is just a...
No, he's suing her for defamation of character.
Right.
Meaning that because you told this lie, air quotes, because you told this lie, you've cost me all this work.
Right.
In the eye of the public, I'm a monster.
Right.
Nobody wants to touch me anymore. I can no longer earn money to feed my kids.
Yep.
That's why he's suing her for. She's not going to go to jail for it.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if the state decides to take, which I don't think they can. That's a different show. It's the MANxiety law show, which I'm not a part of. I don't know if there is one. But I don't know what the kid. We should have got my buddy on actually, Vinny D'Agostino, who's an FBI agent. To kind of see what his opinion. We should get him on one day.
That would be great. That would be awesome.
Chat. He would love to do it. He would love to do the show.
Cool.
But I lost my train of thought again because I'm such a fucking moron. Oh yeah, but anyway, so they're going to delay Aquaman 2. My point about that is like, look at when it comes to a movie, right? Doesn't matter who's in the movie. If you want to see the movie, go see it. Like that means you cannot watch a movie without.
She's not going to be that character. They're not going to be that character.
That means you can't suspend your disbelief, right? And here's the thing too, it's Aquaman. Like there's a certain type of person that goes to that movie. Me being one of them, right? I love comic book movies. I'm not going to not go see Aquaman now because she's in it out of protest.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to go see that now. How dare she, what she did to Johnny.
I don't do that either.
You know, but I think nobody going forward, like to the point where they're not even going to release Aquaman 2, they're going to delay it. I don't know if
they're going to die down. Or
I've heard stories that they're going to reshoot it, recast her. But then if you recast her, when you watch the movie, like that used to be Amber. You know what I mean? Like either way.
Sometimes it never plays out right.
Right. Either way, you're going to be, I think the only time they did that
Bond movies?
Very smooth with Bond movies, they changed the main guy. But I think that was just a new genre.
Those movies are going to be changed because he's just like this.
He's done
manly man. They can't really put movies like that out where he's just playing, new girl every.
There's a lot of things you can't do now with cancel culture, which is my manager sent me an article the other day about, so it's pilot season now.
Right.
And usually there's hundreds of pilots go forward to NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, all the letters, go to all of them. Chapman, fucking Comedy Central, all of them. There's only 10 comedies. And there's usually hundreds. Only 10 comedies being put forward. That they might not even get picked up. Because you can't write a good comedy anymore. Right. You can't write a comedy.
Right.
Because you're like, I can't say that joke. And if you have to go into a comedy with restrictions. Now I get, don't curse, don't be racist. You know what I mean? I get
it's
that.
Understandable, but you have to.
I mean, for network television, I'm talking about. Like, but there's so many people that want to cancel you. Because of it, and
be programmed what to laugh at.
Exactly. To the point, but you're limited. You're very, very limited. You know what I mean? It's like if I say I'm going to build this awesome house. You can't wait. You know what? Here's the house, but we give you no hammers. But I don't care. Like, all right, I'll use the butt of a screwdriver instead then.
Right.
All right, and also we're taking away your saws. Like, how am I supposed to cut the wood?
Yep.
With a pen knife or a fucking, and that's so you can't make a solid project, a solid product with all these restrictions. So this girl is going to lose more than he will. She's going to lose a lot more than he will. Nobody's going to go see her movies.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to hire her.
She doesn't have the status that he has.
Lindsay Lohan can't get work for loving her money.
She's doing Planet Fitness.
Yeah,
commercials
and she at one stage had it all. Like she had the backing of Tina Fey behind her. Like Tina Fey was writing projects just for her.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Mean Girls was Tina Fey's, and she wrote that just for Lindsay Lohan. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
She wrote that whole show.
That's still a statement.
That whole movie. Lindsay Lohan can't get work just based on her reputation. She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She didn't fucking drive over anybody or kill them. And there's so many people out there in Hollywood that have done horrible things, right? Allegedly. Right. And I read a story the other day, and again, it's just a story. I read it, so I'm only repeating what I heard.
Yep.
This is not me spreading this rumor. That I think if you look, John Stamos did an interview, so he said it.
Okay.
John Stamos said he was at a show one time and this girl came up and she was too young for him and he wasn't into her, but his friend was. So John Stamos took the girl to his bedroom, turned off the lights and said, I'll be back in a few minutes. And his friend came in and slept with her. Right? And like that, and we're all like, yay, John Stamos is awesome.
What the fuck?
But that's what I'm saying. Like all these fucking people do this shit and they're able to sneak through the cracks.
Wow.
And get jobs. I mean, that's lousy.
Wow.
That's lousy.
So lousy. I didn't know. I've never heard that story.
There's so many stories. You got to look that up too.
Wow, Uncle Jesse.
Wow.
And now he's doing that you show.
Yeah. And it's like nobody gives a shit. But for some reason, some people get through the cracks and some people don't. And Amber is not going to get through the cracks on this one.
I kind of,
you know what I mean? She's not going to get through the cracks on this one. But going back to poor Johnny and the abuse, he put up with a lot of stuff, man. He got his top of his finger cut off. She threw something at him that broke. She said she did that deliberately.
Mhm.
He did it deliberately, and I'll tell you, as a very, very amateur guitar player,
Yep.
he didn't. He's an excellent guitar player.
I've never heard him play.
He's phenomenal.
He plays with Alice Cooper, right?
He's
Or Alice in
played. He
Chains or
plays with the
something?
White Stripes.
I gotta look
he
it
just
up.
jams
I've
with
never-
people.
yeah.
He just jams with people. That's why Keith Richards was. He based Jack Sparrow on Keith Richards because he's just a big Keith Richards fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a lot I don't know about Johnny Depp. But now my question, not to interrupt you, I just want to ask it while it's fresh on my mind. So what did she say that he exactly did to her within that article?
There was a lot of beatings,
Mhm.
a lot of throwing stuff at her, a lot of verbal
Right.
abuse, a lot of manipulation. She's saying like a lot of mind games and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Just to go back and read, I mean, we should have had it. See, I wanted to get a transcript of stuff that was said, but it's like that's the gossip end of it.
And
that
here's
that
now
doesn't interest me.
after you told me that, here's what makes me not believe her. So you see those videos, the way that she talks to him,
Yeah.
right? Anybody that's getting beat emotionally like that
Mhm.
isn't going to sound like that or hit the person that's
Right.
hitting them. Usually, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not. This isn't
Right.
my field, But if you hear that video and she's like, "Stop being a fucking baby. I hate you. I smacked you. I
Right.
did this shit," but like. If he was really abusive like that and being emotionally abusive and hitting her and all this stuff, you tell anybody, I'll kill you, whatever it may be, you would not have that video. That they would not. That's not how you would act. You would just
Right.
be cowardly, right? I guess
Mhm.
to say.
You're right. I remember we brought up last week a female narcissist where they're unempathetic. They're not they're not empathy. They have no empathy,
Mhm.
right? Meaning that they don't feel sorry for anybody or anything,
Right.
right? So when I remember we said about the female narcissist when he goes, that hurt my feelings. Shut up! It did not.
Mhm.
It didn't. Like they're telling you how you feel.
Right.
So there's a recording of her like you hit me. I didn't fucking hit you with my.
Yeah.
I just hit you with my hand. Stop.
I didn't punch you.
Yeah. But that's exactly what it. It's that kind of. I didn't punch you. I only hit you with my hand. You big baby.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
To the point where Johnny Depp goes like, "All right, you heard enough of that." You're like, I guess I'm a baby. I guess I shouldn't be complaining about that. And I don't even think Johnny Depp would have came forward with all this until she fucking. I don't think he would have come forward and said because he broke up when they filed for divorce.
Yeah.
He wasn't airing dirty laundry.
Did she start after the divorce? Or before? That's what I wondered too.
No. After divorce, she started that. She wrote this article out. She put this article out.
Yeah, so that's.
But she would say stuff about him that he would say these horrible, evil things. Now his defense is, and I can kind of back him up on this one, is he has a dark sense of humor. The reason why I know this is because one of his best friends are Doug Stanhope. Now, if you don't know who Doug Stanhope is,
I know what Doug Stanhope
he's
is.
a fucking dark comic, and him and Johnny are.
I was
great
watching a
friends.
skit of him about the kids getting eaten by alligators in Florida.
Yeah, he's amazing, man. He just finds he did something to Governors. Remember that plane crash that happened on Long Island?
Yeah. A while ago?
Yeah,
Like-
crashed on the beach. He was at Governor's Comedy Club that night talking about how his family members picking up their family members, trying to put them back together like it's Mr. Potato Head. Dude, it's like and that's a guy that's tortured, right? Doug Stanhope was tortured. So for him to say these horrible things, I believe he said them, but I also believe that he was hiding them within humor, because if you're hanging out with Doug Stanhope, you got to understand dark humor.
Right.
There's no way you don't.
Right.
There's no way you just fucking don't.
Yep.
There's no way you go like, Doug Stanhope is my favorite comedian.
He's great.
But my favorite jokes are about airplane food. Like, no, it's not, it doesn't go hand in hand.
Nope.
It doesn't go hand in hand. But I think, so to kind of bring it all back around, I think, and we went off all over the place with it, but which I love, but I think why this case is so important is because maybe now, and if you're a part of an abusive relationship, man or woman, definitely seek help. It's not easy, and I understand it's not easy to walk away, because everyone's just get out of that relationship right now.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy. You're financially tied to a person. You're emotionally tied to a person. You may have kids together. You may not. You may have a circle of friends. You may have family involved together.
Yep.
So to say walk away from an abusive relationship is the easiest thing in the world to say, but to do it is next to near impossible, but also not impossible. But if you are involved in a relationship, then you definitely need help. But I think now, and again, speaking from a man's perspective, I'm hoping what this does is highlighted the fact that maybe that one person will think twice about spreading fucking lies and spreading rumors and trying to ruin people's lives.
Yep.
Because there was never if it turned out to not be true, the accusation.
My sister was saying that, like, even when she was in high school anymore, but when she was in school, there was girls that would go to the teachers and say, "You're going to give me an A," or "I'm going to say you've touched me. I'm going to say you've done this," and shit like that's never happened when we were in school. I mean, it's just fucking crazy. And I mean, all right, not to get sidetracked again, but did he have anybody else come forward either? Johnny Depp. No one else came forward and said he abused me. He abused me.
Oh, not her.
Not like a strength in numbers.
There's witnesses from his point of view, though, from seeing what happened. But there's not a list of a slew of ex-boyfriends.
Okay.
Yeah, she did that to me too.
Yeah.
But I think now going forward, I just think that because again, if you accuse a person of doing something, like you're gone, the stigmatism stays with you forever.
Forever.
And but here's the thing too, is like there's never a repercussion for the person making the accusation. No. It just if proven innocent.
We're gonna do a defamation.
It just goes away. Defamation.
I'm saying what a fucking idiot.
That too.
That too on the bed. But like that's the only way to somewhat, prove your innocence.
And if you get accused of something at your job, and then it turns out like after being dragged through and everybody in the office looking at you different for 2 or 3 months while fucking HR comes down and does the investigation, everyone looking at you sideways. If they turn out that Corey is innocent, right? The fucking Becky doesn't get called back in and go, you know what now, because it turns out it wasn't true. It's just like all they'll say, unfortunately, we didn't have enough evidence to blah, blah, blah. No, fuck that.
Unfortunately, we didn't have enough evidence.
If you didn't have enough evidence, that means she's lying.
Yep. Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, and it goes for men too, for men who accuse other men too for stealing shit or whatever it is, or any kind of males attracted to other males. Like if you're like that way in the office, and I just think I'm hoping that what this does is just get the message out there that it's not okay.
Yep.
And there need to be changes in relation to that. There needs to be repercussions back on the person who's accusing.
Yep.
So I say, I hope this turns out all right for Johnny Depp. I'm still going to see Aquaman 2 with Amber in it. I'm not against her artwork
when it comes out in 2029.
if
this all dies down.
Yeah, Jason Momoa's got a big gut.
Right, he's fucking huge.
Jason Mimosa. Done. Anyway, so I think that's we covered enough. Anything you need to cover on it?
No, I do. Hold on.
Oh, shout outs.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna
go on. This
is
fine.
Here.
This dead air is fine.
Just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're a perfectionist. So you're gonna go edit this. Just let it happen.
So what I want to do, get it here.
I'll do it.
All right.
I love that when people talk.
So I want to give a shout out to we don't really have sponsors, but I do want to give a shout out. I was supposed to do it last episode. I want to give a shout out to Multi-Source Printing for our new banner, by the way. They do all the decals here. So give them a shout. Find them on Instagram, Multi-Source Print. Send them a message. It's a very quick turnaround. Very, very good prices. So I wanted to make sure that we plug them in on this episode.
Please, by all means, that's great. They do good work. Friends of the show.
Friends of the show.
Also, like us, subscribe us, share us. And again, if you are facing any mental health difficulties, I have a good topic for next time. Not necessarily, if it's not 12 steps, we'll do it the following week. But if you are suffering from any mental health problems, please seek professional advice.
Yes.
If you would like to book a private counseling session with me, mention us. Email us at
IHaveMANxiety.com.
Yeah. If you want to book any private lessons, I will start taking them from fans of the show.
And I will be setting up an email for you too. So it'll be Mick at IHaveMANxiety.com.
Yeah,
so
I should get
if people don't want to tell me their problems, they want to tell you your problems. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Or not even just through email, but like if you want to do something to make a weekend discussion on the show, like if you say, hey, what's your opinion on? Give us a topic, we'll run with it. But also, if you do need help and you think like I'd like to talk to Mick Thomas,
call in.
Message me. It will not be between me and Corey and you. It will be between me and you privately, as is my ethics. Yeah. I'm not allowed to share.
I'm the only patient that airs my shit out with him.
Also follow me, Mick Thomas, the Cheaper Than Therapy, my other podcast.
Cheaper Than Therapy podcast. Very funny.
Cheers,
follow me at Mick Thomas Comedy. Follow me at I Am Corey Brooks. And make sure you listen to the Sticks and Stone podcast as well.
Thanks, lads. Have a good one.